People like games.
What's up, people? It's Solo, and welcome to the Connect 4 speedrun. The classic childhood, I want to call it a board game, but that does not feel like an accurately descriptive word. But I don't know an alternative, so let me know if you can think of a better one. However, feels sort of timeless, and the fact that I would have thought that it had an ancient history and eventually evolved into the current iteration that we know today, sort of like a Mancala. But that wasn't really the case. The version that we know happened about in the 1970s. I'll get to that one because there's a lot more info on that. But just for, I guess, humorous purposes, the earliest known recorded version of where Connect 4 came from was a British explorer in the 1700s whose name was Captain James Cook, who apparently was a big fan of like a Connect 4 type game that used balls instead of whatever rack that they use now, and was apparently debunked by a author who was a board game historian named Robbie Bell, who said the earliest known history that could be found was a game called Four Balls that was found in like the 1900s. Given that's a 200-year difference, who knows? But the version we are familiar with actually just came about in 1973 from the freelance inventor Howard Wexler alongside of his business partner Ned Trungen, who didn't do much, but in a great interview, he basically explained how he came together with the concept. He took a bunch of tubes and ping pong balls and was like, okay, how do I want to create this game? He wanted to do a vertical strategy game instead of a horizontal one. So he would put the tubes next to each other, use different color ping pong balls, and then sort of went with a feel for what it felt right with how many pieces or balls or grids that should be had. Then it ended up becoming a 6x7. Then in order to possibly sell it, he was like, okay, we can't sell all these tubes and these balls. So he ended up making a grid with checkers pieces. And so the multicolored checkered pieces was created on a rack, and thus Connect 4 was born in the form that we know it today, in a 6x7 grid. Don't have too much more to add. There don't have too much more to add. Pretty quick history, and like I said, pretty straightforward. And shows sometimes the right feeling is more important than data, but I'm pretty much running over time, so I'll be back. Peace.